Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. Make big plans. Aim high and work and hope, remembering that a noble logical diagram, once recorded, shall not die. I always wanted to be an architect. As a kid, I drew automobiles, I drew trucks, and I drew buildings. So I was creative, and of course that has continued through my life. I grew up right here in Covington, Kentucky, about 14 blocks south of the river. We had a kind of traditional Irish, German, Catholic family. Our dad was an entrepreneur, went into the plumbing business at the age of 22 during the Depression because he couldn't get a job. And so that was a common theme about saving money, about working very hard. Mom always said that when you're 18, you're on your own.
He's an entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur by the very nature of things is a risk taker.
We literally outran economics because I didn't have any money and I didn't have a plan except to succeed. All of a sudden, the reality set in that you had never built a building on your own. And what I came to learn is that nobody was going to be the first to give me a chance. And so I went to Louisville, Kentucky in 1968, and I hired a man who was in his 40s. The customer didn't know that there was a kid on the other end. We built 35 buildings in Louisville in a period of maybe 5 years. And then we brought the pictures back home. And that's what accelerated the growth of Corporex.
Back in 1985, when we started River Center, Covington had just been designated by HUD one of the most blighted communities in the United States. And Bill chose to undertake his largest project, and he was truly putting the company at risk over his vision. But he really believed that Cincinnati couldn't have an East St. Louis kind of community right across the water. It had to have a South Shore that was as vibrant as the North Shore.
I mean, I view River Center as the beginning of what the urban sector of Northern Kentucky will be, because what happened here spans a period of about 25 years. So what could be is the next thought that hits my mind when I come across the bridge and I see what we've built on the river and the community. I immediately think about what there is yet to be done.
We started in the 80s developing the Circleport Business Park, which is 600 acres on both sides of 275 as you come in from the airport. We could have sold that land dozens of times over for big box industrial. That's what the market was calling for. That would have been the quickest economic return for us.
But that was Cincinnati's front door to the world. And that's why we have insisted and continued to refrain from doing anything in Circleport that isn't a matter of high architecture. Well, I met Sue one night at a singles dance. I saw her walk in the door. There was a glow around her head. I'm serious. It took me all night to get up enough courage to ask her to dance. I danced with her twice, and then I asked her to take her home, and she agreed. And that was the beginning of a 2-year courtship and a marriage that so far is 49 years. We have 2 children, and I'll tell you, the grandchildren give rise to a whole new part of myself.
I can tell you that today his community work and his civic work is more than 50% of his typical workday.
When you look at downtown Covington and see what Bill Butler has done there, you think that this is the man's legacy, but it's not really. You have to go into the real heart of Covington, and there you can find this thing called the Life Learning Center.
Well, the Life Learning Center is an experiment in permanent transformational change. And we like to talk about change leading to sustainability, in other words, job, leading to dignity, because there's no dignity in a handout, leading to contribution in turn. When that person who's made those steps gets to the point of contributing in turn, they've reached a level of fulfillment which rises above dignity.
He has told me how deeply he wants to invest the rest of his life in making Covington better. And I think if we're talking about legacies and monuments, Bill would much prefer that be recorded on his book of life than all the skyscrapers of Covington's riverfront.
I've been in business 52 years, and it was not until about 8 or 9 years ago that I finally said to myself, in honesty, okay, you can now say you're successful.